Hello, everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe to this channel. And straight to the point, the tradition of a youthful Holocaust casualty. And straight to the point, brought into the world on June 12, 1929, in Frankfurt am Principal, Germany, is one of the most powerful images of the Holocaust. Her journal, composed while she and her family were sequestered from everything during the Second Great War, gives a profoundly private record of the revulsions of war and the versatility of the human soul. Anne's life and compositions proceed to motivate and instruct individuals about the barbarities of the Holocaust and the persevering through journey for harmony and basic freedoms. This article investigates the existence of Anne Plain, the authentic setting of her story, and the enduring effect of her inheritance. Early life, Anne Straightforward was brought into the world to Otto Candid and Edith Blunt Hollander. Her family was Jewish, and they lived in Germany during a period of rising enemy of Semitism and political shakiness. In 1933, as the Nazi Party acquired power and hostile to Jewish regulations turned out to be progressively harsh, the Straightforward family chose to move to Amsterdam, Netherlands, looking for a more secure climate. In Amsterdam, Otto straight to the point laid out a fruitful business, and the family seemed to carry on with a generally ordinary existence, regardless of the continuous political environment. Anne and her sister Margot went to class, and Anne started writing in her journal, which she had gotten as a birthday present in 1942. Her journal sections mirror her considerations, perceptions, and the everyday encounters of a little kid exploring the difficulties of pre-adulthood in a period of extraordinary strife. The Mystery Extension. In 1942, following the German attack of the Netherlands and the execution of progressively unforgiving enemy of Jewish measures, Otto Honest settled on the hard decision to crawl under a rock. The forthcoming family, alongside another Jewish family, the Van Pels, and later a dental specialist named Fritz Pfeffer, took shelter in a covered region behind Otto Straightforward's business premises, known as the Mystery Extension. The Mystery Extension was a little, covered-up space that gave insignificant solace and protection. The occupants lived in steady apprehension about disclosure, and their days were organized around the need to stay quiet and stowed away from the rest of the world. Anne's journal, which she called Kitty, turned into where she reported her encounters, fears, and expectations during this time of covering. Life in stowing away. During the time in the Mystery Extension, Anne Candid's journal gives a nitty-gritty record of the day-to-day battles and personal difficulties looked by the occupants. Her compositions cover a large number of subjects, including the pressure among the occupants, the consistent feeling of dread toward capture, and the little delights and distresses of life in stowing away. Anne's perceptions stretch out past her nearby conditions to mirror her considerations on human instinct, the conflict, and her own future goals. Anne's composing likewise uncovers her thriving scholarly ability and her craving to turn into an essayist. She communicated her expectations of distributing her journal as an original after the conflict, accepting that her encounters and reflections could give knowledge into the existences of those experiencing under Nazi occupation. The capture and removal. On August 4th, 1944, the Mystery Extension was struck by the Gestapo, following a clue from a mysterious witness. The occupants were captured and accordingly ousted to inhumane imprisonments. Anne Honest, her sister Margot, and their mom Edith were ultimately shipped off the Auschwitz death camp and later moved to the Bergen-Belsen camp in Germany. The circumstances in Bergen-Belsen were unforgiving, with extreme congestion, absence of food, and wild sickness. Anne and Margot Forthright, alongside numerous different detainees, contracted typhus and passed on in mid-1945, only half a month prior to the camp was freed by United Powers. Anne was 15 years of age at the hour of her demise. The tradition, Anne's Straight to the Point's journal, named the Journal of a Little Kid, was found by Miep Gies, one of the Dutch residents who had helped the Blunt family during their time in stowing away. The journal was subsequently distributed by Anne's dad, Otto Plain, the main individual from the Straight to the Point family to endure the Holocaust. The publication of Anne's journal carried her story to the world and transformed her into an image of the guiltless lives lost during the Holocaust. The journal has been converted into various dialects and stays a generally perused and concentrated on work. It has motivated innumerable transformations, including plays, films, and instructive projects. The Enchanted House in Amsterdam, where the mystery extension was found, has been safeguarded as an exhibition hall and fills in as a remembrance to Anne Forthright and the large numbers of survivors of the Holocaust. Influence and instructive endeavors. Anne Forthcoming's inheritance reaches out past her journal and the actual areas related with her story. Her compositions and the historical center devoted to her memory act as amazing assets for schooling and recognition. The Anne Plain establishment, laid out in 1957, attempts to advance basic liberties, resistance, and civil rights through instructive projects and displays. Anne Blunt's journal has turned into an imperative asset in showing the Holocaust, the impacts of hostile anti-Semitism, and the significance of facing contempt and segregation. Her story keeps on resounding with individuals, everything being equal, offering a piercing sign of the human expense of narrow-mindedness and the getting through strength of the human soul. Anne Plain's life and compositions address a strong demonstration of the flexibility and trust that can arise even in the most obscure of times. Her journal gives a profoundly private viewpoint on the repulsions of war and the effect of bias and mistreatment. Anne's story, while set apart by misfortune, likewise fills in as an encouraging sign and a source of inspiration for an additional fair and caring world. As we think about the existence of Anne straightforward and the examples her story gives, we are helped to remember the significance of recalling and respecting the casualties of the Holocaust. Anne's inheritance perseveres as an image of the innumerable lives lost and the continuous battle for common freedoms and respect. Her journal stays a powerful sign of the need to defy contempt and to maintain the upsides of resistance and figuring out in our common mankind. Thank you for watching.